We're live. We've got the legends from Booktube, Two to Ramble, Richard and Austin. I'm so
How,
excited.
What's
howdy,
up,
y'all.
Thomas? What's up, chat? Thank you bunch for having us.
Oh my gosh, chat's already filling up. I'm so scared right now. It's an honor to have you guys here and taking time in your evening to hang out with me and the lovely chat and talk about books and coffee mugs in the back. I love that. That's what my wife and I want. We want shelves and shelves of that.
This is all Nicole. Yeah, trust
Good.
me, this is not my decor.
Good.
So yes, but it's a good backdrop because my bookshelves to have a backdrop is in the spare bedroom, and I don't have a place to prop up, and it just wouldn't work. So it's the next best thing.
I think it's perfect.
Thank
and
you.
I love Richard's background as well.
Oh
That's
yeah,
nice.
The actual books, yes.
I'm gonna be moving sometime this year, and I am not looking forward to tearing all this down.
I can only imagine.
No, I actually hate that he's moving. It's the most selfish thing I think I've ever.
So what's happening? As in moving.
Oh, I'm just moving. Like, I'm not going anywhere super far, but cheaper place to live.
Yeah,
and mine as well. But
so would that make you guys farther? Because you guys are, in the same area. Are you guys how far?
Oh, it'll be about the same.
It's not. Yeah, it's the same drive for me. It's just all the books to move is going to be horrible. Yeah. And it's just Rich. Like, can we? Let's sparse it out over let's take a month and go. Hey, every weekend, patch 1, batch 2, because I'm not. That's going to be a whole.
Fun. Here's the thing that we should do. Okay. Here's the plan. I'll make the shelves all nice and pretty one last time, and then we're going to take a photo of it, and then we're going to put up the green screen behind us, and we're going to put the shelf onto the green screen. And so for the whole month, it's just going to be green screen shelves while I move all the books to the new place.
I love that idea. And Thomas is also available to help us move things, I've heard, because it's just in your nature.
I can do that. I can absolutely. Wherever you are, I'll be there. I think that's a vital thing to do in life. Help people move.
Yes. I do know you're Pacific Coast though, so I don't know if it would work.
Just buy me out. Buy me coffee and I'll be good.
Sounds good.
Yeah, you buy the plane ticket, I'll buy the pizza and beer.
Exactly.
Equivalent exchange.
Yeah, I'll buy the hotel and the rent car, and
You
just buy me one cup of coffee.
But Thomas, I've been introduced to your channel before, and I've always seen it's been the calmest reading vibe and listening to you, and you always have great time to listen to. And you were talking right before we went live on how it's nice to have a stream where you get to chat to other people. Yeah. And Rich and I were complaining about, hey, I could never do it alone. I could never just talk to the camera. So how do you go about that? How have you found your grounding in Booktube of how have you done it? What has your experience been on the platform?
Well, it took time because in the very beginning, you want to figure out how you want to talk. Normally I'm not, talking very fast. I do get excited like a golden retriever, but on camera and how you edit things, it just took some time to figure out, oh, okay, I think this is kind of how I should be, presenting the information, presenting my thoughts. It's amazing what body language can do and just what you put in to the first 15, 20, 30 seconds of your video, how that can make you come across.
Oh yeah.
I don't know. I don't know if that answers.
No, that does. Rich, you know what that reminds me of?
What?
Specifically, the first 10 seconds of introductions, because we do a horrible job with we assume people are on the inside jokes. They get they were here last episode, but it's I guess that's the ego of oh yeah, of course they watched the last episode.
Yeah.
And so there's a couple, one that sticks out to me of, I think it was one of our interviews with Rockio. Rich introduced Rockio going, hey, the author of the first book, which, we didn't like the best. And then continues and goes, da 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 da, introduces him. And I remember a couple comments being like, that was the rudest introduction to this amazing author I've ever seen. Little does everybody know, like, we love Rockio, obviously.
Yeah.
And I just remember that going, yeah, that's one of those things where in our heads, it's like, oh, okay, it makes perfect sense.
See,
this isn't our first interview with him. This is like the third. We've got to his house.
So you guys are able to potentially have sarcasm. For me, if I actually showed sarcasm, it wouldn't work well. I've learned to be sarcastic. My wife and her whole family are, very sarcastic. I grew up we were gullible, and like what we said is like what we meant. So sarcasm just wasn't a thing. So I feel like if I were to ever do sarcastic things or just quips on my channel, people may be like, what the heck? That's rude. I'm leaving, so again, it just,
I don't know if it particularly works for us either. It's just
people still leave. Yeah.
People leave. There's a reason why. Yeah. No.
Well, guess what? I found you initially through Wheel of Time. And it was such a joy to watch each review after I finished each book. But sadly, I think you got up to only book 4. And then I'm like, dang it. So then I went over to Mike's channel and I left you guys.
Yeah, to be fair.
But
that's where I was too.
Wait,
Mike is who I watched after every single Wheel of Time book. Yeah.
Yeah. It's great. One of my favorite series of all time.
Look at that, Austin. Someone else who gets it.
Yep.
You're just not strong enough.
For some reason, I trust him more when he says it. When it comes out of your mouth,
But then, Richard, you don't like Name of the Wind.
That is true.
Hey, don't exclude me on that. I'm with Rich on that.
Okay, you're with Richard as well.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I love it. It's the book that started my journey in reading.
Okay, now I get it. I've come across way too many people that really love Name of the Wind, and it's hard for me to like okay, I could of course go on a tirade of why it sucks, but it's hard for me to go like it's some of it is a subjective opinion because it has so many scenes where I'm like, yeah, that's objectively some of the best writing I've seen in a long time. Oh, this scene was beautiful. Like, there's a handful of stuff that like I do truly love. I actually do really like a couple individual chapters and scenes.
And I know which one you're talking about. The one.
But yeah, but beyond that though, I really do hate the book. But
I love that you guys can you especially talking to having 2 people on one channel, being able to like kind of have differing opinions and talking about them, talking them out and contesting one another. That's awesome. We need that.
I wish we disagreed on more things. Like, you know what I mean? We've started to.
Those are the fun episodes.
Those are the more fun episodes.
I would say it happens 1 out of every 20 at this rate.
Yeah, we're normally fairly in sync in the general direction. Yeah. It's very rare when like we'll maybe disagree of severity, but generally we're on a similar page. So I hope to find a few more books where we're just diametrically opposed. The last one I can think of where we were just diametrically opposed was
Goblin right?
Emperor.
Yeah, that one. Yep.
Yeah. That's one like
one of the last big ones, yeah.
Crazy thing is I've never heard of it. I live under a rock, so
Thomas, the elevator pitch is the Game of Thrones fought with kindness.
What the heck is that? Doesn't sell me on it.
How does that not sell you on it? My God.
Is kindness like the weapon that they use to fight enemies?
Yes.
Okay.
The character is fighting for the throne, but he does it with kindness. And that is the story. Kindness is not naivete. Like, you can be kind and also prudent and wise.
I agree with that.
That is the story.
Be interesting.
Hey, you just explored all the themes and the depth to it. You don't need to read it anymore.
Oh, okay. All right. Great.
Bastard.
Oh
It's
man.
again one of those well done books where it's really interesting because when Rich and I rate, we have these 6 categories we talk
Yep.
about, and a lot of book opinions can be described by which category, which aspects of the book are you focusing on when you're giving your review? Because if Rich and I were to talk about Name of the Wind and just go prose or even world building, it's
Yeah.
hard to even objectively disagree and go like, "Oh, that's bad about it." Well, no, it's well done. It's very well done, right? So it's hard because then when people are talking about books, sometimes when someone brings up Name of the Wind, you're going like, "Oh, look at this elegant prose. Look at this. Look at all these things." And you're going, "But oh no, I'm talking about the themes of the book. I'm talking
Mhm.
about the character quality." And then some that's a thing that Rich and I have found when discussing books is we have come to we've understood at least how we rate books and defined our terms so well that when we disagree, we actually know we disagree certainly because we've defined what our numbers mean. We've defined what our categories mean so that we just deeply understand each other's review. And maybe sometimes that's why when somebody's listening, our job is when someone's listening in is to go, hey, here's the specific reasons why said book is what have you.
It is tough when you're like trying to get your point across and the final cuts in and it's uploaded and you're like, well, I missed like 15 different points that
Yeah.
is not going to paint the full picture. And I know I might get some comments. They're like, well, wait, what about this? What about that? I review off of feeling and as spoiler free as possible. I love your guys's just categories and overall organization of it and presentation of it. It makes it just a nice little package. It's not just this is good, this is bad. You provide context and reasoning behind it, and I just think that's beautiful.
Well, it's a very satisfying thing of looking through comments, especially is sometimes we don't present ourselves, sometimes we don't present ourselves the best that we can, and like we make it unclear, or maybe we miss something. But in like an hour and a half long review, going through each of our categories, 9 times out of 10, I think we're fairly satisfied that like we properly talked about everything we wanted to talk about. We gave context to every opinion of ours. It's not just thrown out there. In an hour and a half, it should be. And
That's
so I
more than enough
normally have
time.
a relief of if someone reads it, like if I read a comment and just like they don't get it or they disagree or like they clearly didn't understand the context of what we're saying or they misinterpreted, I'm going like at this point it's on you for listening because like we gave an hour and a half to talk about this in depth. So if they don't understand, I guess I don't know what else we could do.
No, that's a good point. Yeah, it's a them problem, sadly, or it's maybe not a problem,
Not
but
always.
Everyone's gonna like different books and hate different books, and
As Abercrombie told me, you could just be a bad reader or a bad viewer. That's what he told me.
That is what he called you. You're just a bad reader. That's why
I mean,
I
I can't argue with the man. He makes valid points. But that's the thing too. With I mean, I like that we number our episodes and keep to that. Even though, hey, for algorithm, it would probably be better not to number it at this point. I don't know, but I like that we have. It's neat to see our reviews from years ago versus now. If I could tell, well, I'd hope we're getting better at it, and the more we do, we will. Because obviously, we don't always illustrate ourselves perfectly, and we actually have. I said, "Hey, Jacob, what's up?" I see Jacob in the chat.
Yeah, I'm completely ignoring the chat. We need to lock it. Let's
pull up
go right from the
the
top.
chat.
We got Midnight Chronicler.
Hey,
An absolute legend. I don't know if you've seen his channel. It's very niche, but it oh my gosh, he's got a formula that works. It's awesome. Evening, everybody. Austin looking jacked, and I noticed that like your bicep is just like kind of
Well, that's right. Next thumbnail, I'll squeeze extra hard so I can make it look like it's actually big.
Like first time comment. Thank you for the weekly book vibes, Thomas. Well, it's an honor that you're here. Best trio. It's the best duo. This is I'm just kind of facilitating. I feel like we're just kind of we're just hanging out. What's going on? The book Goats.
Funky dude.
Hello from India, 5:30 a.m. Barely woke up.
Ooh,
Best way to start your morning.
real trooper.
Yeah. This is the crossover of the century that I wasn't expecting.
Hell
Of the century?
Hey, we'll take it.
I'll take it.
Of the century. That's a okay. Can we step back and just acknowledge
Maybe decade.
This is not the collaboration of the century. You know, Michael Jackson was still alive this century.
Michael Jordan.
Yeah,
Kobe Bryant. Oh wait, hold up. I'm acting as if Michael's still. I'm out of it. Still waking up.
A very niche crossover that I love. This is probably a little bit too film cinephile-ish, but Sean Baker and Safdie, the two directors, had a sit down talk for 45 minutes. That was my crossover geek fest of the year, at least for me, because they're like A24's. Some of their shining stars. I love it.
Good times, and I still haven't seen Marty Supreme or anything, but
it's so good. It's so good.
Love from Scotland, boys, unbelievable. I can't wait to watch your guys' Lonesome Dove chat.
It's great.
It's still here. Chapter 70. I can finish it. I could probably finish it in a weekend if I wanted to, but I don't want it to end.
To be fair, we were talking about this before recording a little bit. I know you want to pace it out. You don't want to, because once it's done, it's done.
Exactly. And
I feel the same way with Discworld. That's the one I'm like, I'm pacing it, because once it's done, I'm out. Like, that's it.
Misinterpretation needed. Austin is wrong about Neuromancer.
Neuromancer, William Gibson. Yep.
That is fair.
Okay. Hi, y'all. Hi, guys. Derry, how you doing? Lonesome Dove. It's this once in a lifetime.
I love that comment.
Austin are going to manipulate you to lower the rating of your favorite book. That's not going to happen. However, I will say this book. I was on a walk with my lovely wife here the other day, and I said, "Honey, I really think Lonesome Dove is going to take the throne."
I love God Medic's comment.
Name of the Wind. Oh wait, where's that?
Thomas will be drinking a coffee tomorrow.
Yes. Yeah. I'll film it tonight, and it'll get uploaded tomorrow.
That is our crusade. We have two crusades. It's
Death of the Author.
Death of the Author is dumb poo-poo head, and then Name of the Wind actually sucks. Those are the two crusades that we're trying to fight across Booktube.
Hey, I would say I'm all for it, but I don't know yet. I don't know. But the longer I get away from Name of the Wind and read all these other books and see what's out there, it's unbelievable what's out there. I always thought, wow, nothing can top this, because it was like the first book that got me to read. Mm-hmm. And I would compare, the writing styles to everything I was reading. Then I finally got into Wheel of Time, and of course, it's different, but I had to tell and teach myself that, like, this is different. Stop comparing it, look at it for what it is, and enjoy it. And there you go. Name of the Wind will be there. That's okay.
No.
Wheel of Time, unbelievable. Loved it.
Oh,
sure, long-winded here and there, but a journey well worth going on.
It is one of those things of I understand why people don't like it. There are plenty of things that, like,
Name of the Wind or Wheel of Time,
I wouldn't like. Yeah, I get it. I'm very fortunate of, like, the right headspace to be in is a comfortable adventure where you want to, like, you do want to slowly explore, and you want to be frustrated with characters. Like, miscommunication is a feature, not a bug, and people will read a lot of scenes, characters, like, without miscommunication, the series would be like a trilogy.
Yeah,
but it's not. It's 14 books because people can't communicate properly.
They're supposed to come together and just try to work together. If they can just work together, come on.
I like to think of it of imagine if Lord of the Rings, but imagine you tried to tell the Lord of the Rings is 3 books because for the most part the good guys are united and they're fighting evil together. The Wheel of Time is 14 books because the good guys can't get their shit together.
Yeah. I think I've seen you say that in your reviews of the book, and I completely agree with that. And I don't know, it's fun. Like it didn't. Sure, it could have been a couple more books less, but I don't care. I thought that theme didn't overstay its welcome with people miscommunicating and not getting along and not trusting each other, because that's what's going to happen when you're trying to make alliances and all that, with oh boy. Have you guys read Malazan? Because I have yet to start that.
First 2 books for us.
First 2. We're on 3.
And what are your thoughts?
Didn't like book 1, but really liked book 2.
Likewise,
yeah. Basically, all of our issues in book 1 were completely addressed in book 2. And I imagine a reread of book 1 will be very satisfying.
Yeah.
But as a first-time reader, it's not that I didn't understand what was going on. I didn't understand what I was particularly supposed to care about. I think that was the problem, is perspective.
That's going to be an issue for me. I like to be. I'm not saying I have to root. Every person has to be a good guy, and I need to, see that. No, I need to figure out who I should care about, and that's when I don't care about any character or there's a disconnect, then I'm not invested.
Yeah, there's in book 1, I believe there's 43 point of views.
Beautiful, great
from characters.
So there's time is like a cakewalk, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. And so there's a lot to pay attention to. Malazan fans will tell you 2 things. They'll tell you, 1, hey, don't worry about it. You'll pick it up as it goes. Just let it happen. But then also at the same time, like, hey, pay attention because there's a lot going on. And at least for book 1, the hard thing was knowing what's the thing to, like, oh, that's the important part. Remember that for later, versus the things to just let it happen to you. It'll make sense over time and as the books are going on. And also a thing to note as well. I mean, for anybody going into the series, I believe book 1 was written as a screenplay first. It was initially supposed to be a screenplay.
Okay.
And then it was turned into the book. So that might have affected, who knows, it might have affected like the different point of views and whatnot, because book 2 felt a lot more like a quote unquote traditional novel with your, just, it had that sense to it of, okay, this felt like a novel, even though that's not saying much. Like all books feel like a novel, but you get what I mean. So that was an interesting part about it. Also, I see John and Jacob in the chat. What's up, guys?
I forgot. I need to roast Mistborn. That was...
Yeah, what's up?
Oh, man.
Wait, the whole trilogy or just first?
Well, here's the thing. Here's the thing. When I don't like a first book of something, I get or like the writing style or something.
Yeah, bounced off Mistborn. What about Mistborn? Like, didn't you like?
So okay, and take this very graciously. My journey again started with Harry Potter, then Name of the Wind, and then I was like kind of fumbling, like, oh, what do I try? Okay, I'll try Witcher. I'll try Mistborn. Everyone's talking about Brandon Sanderson. They have this trilogy up so high. I felt like the writing style was just a neck break. Like, whoa, this is different. It's extremely expositionally heavy. I felt like that book should have been split into 2 books, because I like slower books, and I felt like then I wanted to see her at her lowest before she even found out that she has these these powers, or oh my gosh, you're a Mistborn. And that wasn't
You're a
me,
Mistborn, Harry, like that kind of moment you wanted.
maybe,
Yeah.
or just some sort of where it felt earned, and it wasn't just okay, a heist. Okay, now we're gonna make a plan. Now we're gonna make another plan, and now okay. It was very dialogue heavy, and I guess just with me, how I read to feel. I love when words evoke emotion, and I felt very disconnected with that.
Mm.
And I just haven't given it another try. I mean, and then I go into Wheel of Time, and I'm like, yes, give me 4.4 million words, 2,000 plus named characters. I'm all for it. That's
Is that the prose style of Sanderson's, like the term is like or at least maybe the term he uses is the clear window prose is just something you don't really connect with as much?
I definitely think so. Yet he finished off Wheel of Time perfectly in every sense of that word. He was Robert Jordan. Like, he honored Robert Jordan, and no one else could have done it.
Yeah, the only person who could do it better would be Robert Jordan, and
Exactly.
I'm so satisfied with. And the only thing I think the biggest thing he fumbled, and even then it was a fumble, but if not a full drop, was his characterization of Matt on the first book he wrote, and he acknowledged that, and then the subsequent 2 books after that he fixed, and so that's the only like actual criticism I could ever really put toward
I want to
his ending.
Of course, I'm going to read Wheel of Time probably when I have a child. Once they pop out, and I will read them all 14 books, and they will love it.
Oh yeah, you got to get them young. You got to indoctrinate them, like
Exactly.
make sure it's their first introduction to fantasy. That way they'll like guaranteed to like it.
And then they'll hate Lord of the Rings because they'll think Lord of the Rings is copying Wheel of Time, and oh my god.
Exactly. They'll read Dune and go like, oh my god.
You're just a bunch of tricksters. You are. You Wheel of Time fans.
Now, I'm so behind in the chat real quick, but I want to bring up Sun Eater.
Okay.
But real quick, okay, John, I can't wait to talk with him about Lonesome Dove. Can't wait to talk to you guys about Lonesome Dove. When I'm done with this, I'm gonna go on a live stream tour, and I just want to talk to you about Lonesome Dove because it is going to be my favorite book of all time. It already is.
You haven't even gotten to the ending either.
Yeah.
I know. I will say nothing other than that.
I know. Oh gosh, I am so sorry, everyone. I can't. Anyways, Sun Eater. That's another example of whoa. Okay, everyone's hyping this series up. Yes, everyone says, okay, book 1 is bad, and he didn't write it with an outline and all that. But it's hard going into it, like wanting to continue a series after a bad first book. I feel like if you're in the middle of a series and you get to a bad book, you're like, okay, well, it started off well, we're in the middle, I can continue through. But right from the get-go, when you take one step into that world, not 2 steps, so you can get out of there. That's kind of where I'm at right now. So sell me, or tell me your thoughts, I guess, on Sun Eater, why I should continue, because I go back and forth.
Wow. Okay, so you did read the first book and you did not enjoy.
It was tough. It was tough.
That was actually my exact experience. I read the first book and was very disappointed by it, especially because I thought it would be something I would really like. Everything that was being pitched about the series, and I was hearing amazing things. Maybe some of it's the hype behind it too, of expecting some greatness. But I also genuinely did not like the first book. And it took me, a year before I got convinced to pick up book 2, something like that. And so your journey is not alone in that a lot of people do. There's a lot of people who don't like book 1 that end up loving book 2. So that could bring you a little bit of joy. I think one of the like, what didn't you like about book 1? And we could see kind of like with Rich and I and Malazan, like, hey, we didn't like things about book 1 and book 2 fixed them in our mind. So what was it about book 1 that you didn't like?
So, well, I fixate on pace. I talk about that on my channel all the time. I love pace in a film, in a game, in a book. When things are able to breathe, and I felt everything was just a vignette, and I wanted to sit in moments longer. And I know you'll know, what moments I would want longer. I mean, I've already forgotten some of the characters. The girl he meets in that city. Give me more. Give me half the book with that. In my opinion, I want to see him really at his lowest. That was my biggest thing. It was just kind of disjointed.
One thing after the other, then you're like, okay, now we're fighting in this Coliseum, right?
And
That
it
kind of
didn't
stuff.
feel earned. It
Yeah.
felt like, oh, now we're all buddy in the Coliseum, and it's like, okay,
Yep.
oh, let's do this, let's do that.
It's I
Yeah.
remember the comment I made in our book club for Empire Silence. I was like, did Hadrian did he even suffer enough? And we're like, whoa, yeah. But I had that exact same feeling too, but with the pacing issue I have specifically, like Rocchio will say this himself, is he didn't know how to plot a book with Empire Silence. He had no outline. And for books 2 and onward, he has a full outline. He knew what he was doing. And to this day, so before book 7, I know this was his opinion, but book 2 to him was his favorite book he'd written. He was just on fire when he was writing it. He finally had an outline. It felt like it just came right off the page. And that is the one that if book 2 does not work for you, I don't think the series is going to be for you.
Okay.
But it wowed Rich and I to like the next level of extent, and that not even the entire book, but it's the package of the book. By the end, after you complete the book, it's such a memorable, thought-provoking book that defines the series and the rest of the events that will happen. Like book one happens, of course, but I don't think that defines the rest of the series like book 2 does. And so
it really sets the expectations for the type of space opera you're going to get.
yeah.
Sun Eater as a whole does you'll commonly see comparisons to Red Rising online. They're both space, Roman, epic sci-fi. They really could not be more different tonally, thematically, all these different aspects. Like book 2 does breathe. There's some fun action in there. There's some fun action scenes that is in the story. But the story and lets the character of Hadrian breathe and sit with the consequences of his actions. You're in his mind, seeing the ramifications of these things. There's particularly a very lengthy section closer to the end of the novel, which in many ways, like I can see people like bouncing off of like, this goes on a long time. It's supposed to. And you are supposed to feel the length and time the same way the character is. And so
that's a good thing. Yeah. Because his story, I got a comment on my Empire of Silence review, like, hey, when you're talking about pace, like this is just like his story spans what, thousands, hundreds of years. Like it's space. It's not just 5 years, 10 years of his life. This is so it kind of has to, we got to get through his story and we got to get to these moments. So knowing that going into the second book too, and then what you guys are saying, it's
yeah, I would give it a shot, and especially with you want things to breathe. The pace is more deliberate, but it is slower than book 1. Book 1, you kind of get like to the next thing, to the next thing, to the next thing. Book 2 slows down, but when it hits hard, when it's supposed to be fast, it hits fast and hard.
good.
But for a lot of the novel, it is contemplative with Hadrian. And I think that is the right mindset to go into it. I think there's actually a potential issue for people of they'll read book 3 and think that that's more definitive of what the story is. Book 3 is a much faster paced novel. I think it's one of the most perfectly paced of like action, brevity, calm moments. I love the pacing of it, but it definitely sets, I think, the wrong tone of the series. Book 2 it's the series in one book.
You sold
If
me
you
on
like
it.
book 2,
Yeah.
you're gonna love it. It's the
Okay.
most thematically interesting book until finale, till book 6 and 7. It is the best paced. It's the most important development for Hadrian. I did not like Hadrian in book 1. Quickly became one of my favorite characters in book 2. I did see a comment.
Oh, yes, please.
At
Guys,
e,
I'm so sorry about the chat. I'm trying to be very, intentional with these two gentlemen here, and I'm neglecting all of you, and please don't take it personally.
I don't. It's 2 comments before. I don't know how to pronounce it. Efren.
Right here?
Yeah.
Mhm.
The undeveloped side characters. That's not going to get particularly better, except that it's the Hadrian story.
Okay.
You care about side characters because Hadrian cares about side characters.
Okay.
Just the expectation is set. Like,
Yeah.
you can like them, but you're not going to fall deeply in love with a lot of these side characters the
Yeah.
same way you would a Red Rising.
Okay. And you talk about side characters. I am amazed how Larry McMurtry. It's perfect.
He's the best character writer of all time, by far.
Maybe I would say so, because I haven't read much of Robin Hobb, and everyone says Robin Hobb is, masterful. But
Robin Hobb's a master, but Larry McMurtry is the Pulitzer Prize winner for a reason. It's
a timeless book, and you can just tell. And that's why I'm on chapter 70, and I've been on chapter 70 for 2 weeks, and I don't want to move any further yet because I don't want it to end. How does he just seamlessly go from multiple POVs, even in a chapter, even within 2 or 3 paragraphs, and it's never jarring? And then you got, George R. R. Martin, who has chapters that are different POVs. You have, I think, different page breaks or like paragraph breaks in Wheel of Time that okay, I'm going into someone else's, headspace and POV. And then, with Harry Potter and Name of the Wind, you're stuck in one perspective, and that's how you see the world. But then you're able to see the world.
You compare that kind of writing where in Lonesome Dove it's never confusing with Dune. You switch perspectives within the same paragraph of all the time. You're always in different people's heads all the time. I like Dune. I like Dune a lot.
Yeah.
It's a well-written book. But I think it's difficult. It's a difficult thing to get into. It is kind of confusing. It took me about 50% of the book to start really understanding it and being comfortable with the POV shifts. Compare that to Lonesome Dove. Never. It never had a problem. It was handled so smoothly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh man, yeah. I'm always known for being behind on the chat, and I've never been, I don't know, 20 minutes behind on the chat.
It's our fault. It's the ramble.
Yeah. Sorry, people. Sorry, everyone that's watching and commenting. We're distracting him from reading your chats.
Where hype is warranted. Yeah, that's one thing I made a video on recently, is about hype, and that's kind of why I'm very hesitant on approaching Sun Eater right now, just because the back end of the series just finished. Mm-hmm. And I just don't want to see anyone else's opinion right now, because I want to approach it because I want to, not because I feel like I'm being told to. And I want to be able to enjoy the book because of me and finding things that I like, rather than being influenced potentially. Yeah.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, I think with something like that, where you have such high expectations, can be tough. Or is that correct? Do you have such high expectations, right? Would you say that it's something about you don't want to know what anybody thinks of book 6 and book 7 because you don't want to alter what you think going into it?
Yeah, and like hearing how Richard's sales pitch on book 2 was amazing, like adequate, and just that definitely genuinely gets me like, okay, I can rest at ease and I can confidently go into book 2 whenever that is. But I guess it is just hearing from everyone else, just in just blanket terms of like, book 2 is where it's at. Go into it. I'm like, okay, but what if it isn't? And then I'm just the odd man out, and I just be like, dang it.
I mean, we talked about recently on another another channel where like expectations. Well, actually, it's one of our more recent
You're the
videos
best, John.
of talking about the expectations for going into a novel and how it can often ruin your reading experience of like the right level of hype of like how do you sell the book? What is the right level of expectations for a novel? And they came to the conclusion of enough to get you to read the book, like that to get you to pick up the book, but no more. Any higher, and it's a detriment to the reading experience. And so, like,
we need,
you know what I mean?
That's perfect. That's what I needed to hear, because I take hype on, I've always been that way growing up. I jump on those hype trains of like, oh, the next Call of Duty. Yeah, let's go. This is it. I'm going to the midnight launch. And then, I play for 2 weeks and then I drop it. But now, as turning 32 this year, I just feel like I've slowed down a bit. I'm trying not to be impulsive and influenced by hype. And I love what you just said there with have it excite you to pick up the book, but no more.
I think from our conversation, it was if you're going to recommend a book and you want to properly hype it, pick one thing, like whatever you think is the best aspect of the book, and hype only that.
Yeah.
Don't say, oh, it's the best book I've ever read. Like every aspect, it's perfect. Like,
sorry,
there's one exception. Lonesome Dove, that's fine. You could just say it's the one book that like I could tell you like this is the best book ever written.
It's perfect. And I know Mike's like, oh, there's no perfect book, but I was driving and I'm like, I actually think there's a perfect book, because it's anyway.
I've yet to find someone who could prove me wrong of like I can overhype Lonesome Dove and no one has been dissatisfied. But other than that, hype one character of like, ooh, the prose is wonderfully descriptive. It sweeps you away. Like just that, like, and that's all you hype. And so that's something people can focus on, but they're not going in with expectations of like, oh, the characters being beautiful or the plot. Like, let them have their own experience with those other aspects.
Yeah, let them discover those on their own, because it's important. And when I ask about a book, I get recommendations in the chat. I do live streams all the time or comments. I ask, what's the elevator pitch? Just give me, a couple sentences, nothing more. I also don't want feelings to be told. Don't tell me how I'm going to feel. Like, I think those need to be felt genuinely. As in like, oh my gosh, wait till you get to this chapter. It's going to be so sad. Because even that, you're spoiling in a way. And it's like, okay, well, you're telling me that something might happen that might make me feel that way. That's a genuine reaction that I want to feel on my own. I know that sounds so, I don't know. I annoy my wife with how of a stickler I am with spoilers. I don't want to know anything.
Thank
when
you.
Dune Part 3, when those trailers come out, nope, I'm not going to watch them. I'm just going to go into the theater.
Oh my goodness. Rich, does this seem like deja vu?
Denny's going to be my man. But anyways, yeah.
Oh yeah, no, don't worry, you're in good company. Austin, I don't like spoilers either, but Austin is the biggest stickler. He wants to know next to nothing if you can. I think your best experiences with both books and movies have been where you've been told to read a book. You knew nothing. You didn't even know the genre of the book.
Yeah.
And then you read it, and you're like, "Oh, this was great," because you knew nothing about going in.
Isn't it crazy how
100%.
a genre, like knowing a genre, you're like, okay, well, you're already telling me it's a thriller. I mean, granted, that's how you organize it, and if you're in the mood for it, great. But
I mean, a book, every book sets up a promise that your
yeah,
expectations should be aligned to what the introduction of the book promises you to deliver
that's
in
a
that book. So that's the best expectations you can bring. It's I try to think of it when we talk about books all the time. What are you bringing outside of the page versus what are you bringing when the actual reading experience? Which obviously you need context on the outside, but as far as what is the book trying to do? What is the author attempting here? Like, try to judge it for what it's actually going for in the first place. So that I love so much because I've had incredible. I can think of so many theater experiences that I've loved by going in blind, and also books that were recommended to me by Rich, but not hyped to oblivion. Like I can think of a few. For example, Red Rising being the one that he's like, "Hey, you'll like this," and not much more than that. And I loved it. Or like, hey, this one, oh my God, this is one of my favorite books. You got to read it. I read it and I liked it. But Hyperion, I like Hyperion. I like the book. But I was like, ooh, the aspect he talked about, I loved as well. Like I love that part. But it's a book of 6 parts. And there were 3 parts I was going, oh, okay. I thought the whole book was going to be gas. And so I went in thinking that, all 6 parts of Hyperion, or like I'm gonna be so involved in all of them. And then there was 2 that I was really into, and the other 4 I was going, oh, where's that absolute yeah. Anyway, so expectations do a lot. I think with how do you go about that then for yourself, Thomas, of knowing that you don't like to read books with much spoilers at all, or you don't want to know too much. So how do you pitch a book to somebody when somebody clicks on uh, a book review of yours? What do you do? What do you say?
And sadly, we talk about the term book review. On my channel, I hardly, especially compared to you guys, I don't really review the book. I try to talk about my feelings and how the book made me feel, what I connected with. I talk about pace, I talk about characters, and I just try to give an elevator pitch to people. And if it's something that I recommend, or with Empire of Silence, it's like, I felt like it was actually easier to talk about things I didn't like in a book more so than what I like, because what I like is going to be the same thing. And I'm just going to say, I like good pace that breathes. I like realistic characters with multi dimensions, and I don't know, but I was going to bring up with you guys with recommendations and how you recommend books, especially to each other. I think it's pretty cool when you have that one person in your life, or a few, that there's a respect and a trust between you two. Stop.
I trust him because, hey, we have to share finances, but respect, no.
When you recommend or pitch a book to one another, there's already a conversation that's already been had because of the bond you share. That's what I mean. Knowing what the other likes and loves or doesn't like, and if they, hey, hand you a book, you should read this, you might like it, or something, or I think this book is for you.
It's great because even our viewers get to know us a bit. Where, for example, Jai from our Patreon, or Salty, they will recommend a book to specifically Rich or I that goes, oh, okay, he would like this book, and we get a tailored reading experience from people that have known what kind of books we liked and how we describe our tastes, and then get geared books that are more for us. I think at the same time, since we Rich and I have a tendency to, we want to also read outside we're trying to read outside our genre more, but also read things that aren't immediately our go-to on the top of the TBR, because, hey, it's a thing we just have to read. It's a thing everyone's talking about. We want to be more well-read, of this is a big series to read, or this is an important book to read, which that's all great. I think at least we're going a little bit more intentionally this year with being a little bit more selfish with the books we pick, just a bit, just to read more numbers. But at the same time, there's still a lot of the important books that we want to read and go through. And so when it comes down to those, like, you don't have to pitch me Frankenstein. I'm gonna go, okay, I'm gonna read Frankenstein.
Exactly.
You know, so
Yeah.
that's, I guess that's where we're currently at with that. But yeah, Rich, have you we've had a bit of a reading slump recently, but we're getting back there. At least, yeah, this year there has been. We've come off of a busy last year and reading year, and it's been a slow start. But I feel it kicking back up now.
Yeah, I'm feeling more in the groove recently. Especially I'm right now reading The Sons of Darkness.
What are you popping right now? What are you munching on over there? I'm so curious.
I'm so sorry. That's so rude of me.
No, I love it. It's great. Dig in. But what is it?
It's trail mix.
Okay, I was like, they're just like little, like, it's just like, what you're just...
I was, see, like, if I wasn't on a live, I'd be popping like, I mean, John,
Go ahead.
I don't want to like all that ASMR. I don't want to do that. So.
I get it. I get all the comments about my coffee sips, so I don't do those anymore. I cut before I sip my coffee.
Smart.
Thankfully, I don't, horribly sip, but everyone it's subjective. People have a different sip. And if they hear that first sip in the first 5 seconds of the video, like, I'm clicking off. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, it's like, who would sing off tune in an intro of their podcast episodes to tune people out as well? Like, the amount of
we have shackled we have actually put on the training weights for our entire YouTube career with our intro song of just singing the Lord of the Rings theme off tune.
I hear it. It lives rent free in my brain.
Thing is, like, we've kept it for so long, and I know so many people have bounced off our video because of that. Totally get it.
Is it still the same quality of that kind of like peaking audio?
We've not changed it since episode 1.
Don't. I love it. Good.
Little do people know too, I'm playing the guitar during that, but we're screaming so loud.
What?
In the very background, I don't even know if you're able to hear it.
On and I'll give
Possibly, it like someone's got to dial it up a lot.
In
the very background, there are strings being plucked, also out of tune, but that's how bad our pitch was, and we didn't know what we were doing with audio or anything. So, lovely times.
Real quick, I interrupted Richard.
Yeah. Oh, I was going to ask you, with doing YouTube and around the editing, have you found yourself during the editing process? Have you changed the way you talk? Has it affected your speaking habits,
like in day-to-day life?
In day-to-day life, or even during the YouTube process, if you notice, I'm going to change how I speak.
I think so. Absolutely. When you see yourself, I mean, I made short films years ago, and I made a comment on my last live stream how if that channel was still up, it'd be locked behind a Patreon. You'd have to pay to watch all the short films. It's cringe, it's horrible, but it's, my elementary school Lego stop motion, and you see me acting, and when you see yourself, it's tough. But when you're 21, you don't really care. But as a 32-year-old, I'm like, okay, that doesn't look right. That doesn't sound right. So I think so. I definitely feel like I've slowed down a bit. I try to think before I say. Granted, if it's something I get excited about, I'm gonna be that golden retriever. I'm gonna get hyped. I'm gonna want to share that with you. Real quick, have any of you read Beartown? I know Murphy Napier absolutely loves. Oh my gosh!
What is Beartown?
Man carrying thing?
I'll get him out of here.
Absolute legend.
No, he's he's not.
Don't boost his ego.
Because of him, I want to read Blood Meridian and all these, like.
He's trying to make you more pretentious. Don't
now. Woman carries man. She's much better.
Oh, 100%. Way more insightful and concise too.
Actually, I don't tell. I've never told I've never told him this, but I watch like all of their movie reviews. I love
Yeah.
You're great.
watching their movie reviews. It's so
They're
fun
great.
because like husband and wife just talking. It's great. But
Yeah.
Thing is, he does short form video all the time, and that's like that's his big bulk of his
But he
channel.
was a book channel.
yeah, but I don't want
My
that
favorite
anymore.
thing is his long form stuff.
Yes.
I don't
One of
want
my
that.
favorite videos is him
Yeah.
talking for over an hour on the Wheel of Time.
Yeah,
of
I was
why
just
the
going to
show
say that.
doesn't work.
Yes.
Love that video. It's such a
I want more of Wheel of Time
fantastic.
content.
I would love it. But
He only reviewed the first 2 books, I think, and I didn't hear anything after that. And I go to his channel every day, every morning, 7 a.m. Like, where's that 3rd, 4th book review for Wheel of Time? Waiting for it. But Beartown. Or Frederick Bachman, for that matter.
Frederick Bachman. Let me see. I'm pulling up so that way
He's a Swedish author. He did Anxious People, Beartown, some man called Ode, something like that.
Let's see.
I haven't. It's sitting on my shelf. And you talk about getting out of your comfort zone or just getting out of your preferred genre. That's what I've done after Wheel of Time, because I was reading nothing but fantasy.
Wheel of Time is definition of comfort. The comfort fantasy novel.
Yeah. Camping.
I'll give you that.
Camping.
I will give you that.
Yeah.
So I interrupted Austin. What did you say?
No, I was just saying I will give Rich that. I will give him that. I could see it being a very much a comfort read.
And talk to me about some of the books that you've enjoyed that had been outside of your comfort zone.
Well, for who? For me or for Rich? Just in general, because Wheel Time's for Rich, right? Or did you have any more, Rich?
Outside my comfort zone is definitely Norwegian by Night. That is a thriller novel that the main character is a 85-year-old man, World War II veteran, and basically he is on the run from the Norwegian police, and you do have a little bit of a unreliable narrator type of thing of you don't even know, is he telling the truth? Is his backstory real? You don't know. It's incredibly thrilling, heartwarming, and personally, I love the trope of the retired badass, and it really hits home for me. So I really loved that novel. It was so fun.
I wanted more of who's that? Oh, the general in Wheel of Time.
Which one?
Came in book 5. Oh my gosh, I am blanking his name, but he basically, I don't want to say anything, but dang it, I forgot his name. Oh, Gareth Bryn.
Oh yes,
give me more of him. I want a whole book about a retired. Oh, yeah. Love that.
Oh yeah, no, you're gonna get some. I would if you're trying to read just a thriller outside, it's a short book. Highly recommend.
How is becoming a booktuber, YouTuber tanked your marriage? Okay.
Is that Scott?
It
is.
It's
okay.
So
we don't.
That's one of our buddies, Scott.
Austin, where's that? Oh, yeah, there. Okay, there we go. See, look at you have this, and then
it's not one of our buddies, Scott. Never mind.
However, I will say I will be. There's a couple other YouTubers, Cuban, one being one of them, and another patron of ours, Levy, that we're going to be doing a full read through of the Wheel of Time review series. So I'll be doing that with them. I don't know when I don't know when book 1 is going to drop. I'm kind of ready whenever they tell me to go, but hopefully this one will actually go all the way to the finish line.
They're no longer doing the duo on their channel, so I don't know. Yeah, but you're still doing it regardless.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Whenever they tell me the recording is,
Lovely.
I'll be joining.
Lovely. Sweet.
To be fair, one of my favorite books isn't fantasy sci-fi. Boy's Life, so amazing.
Oh, we got to read that.
Oh yeah,
what
John
about-
has recommended that book several times.
Yeah.
Take
It's
non-recommendations.
high on our-
Yeah, it was Mike because of him. I blew through that book, and it was great. What about? Have you guys read that?
No,
No,
we need
but
to.
John
I
John
can't
recommended it, and
I can't wait. That'll be great. I'll be tuning in for your review of that because that's something else.
Hmm.
Yeah. Austin, did you mention what's been something you've read outside of your comfort zone?
Outside my comfort zone recently, and I would say this probably even happened just last year, is horror in general. I've never really been a fan of horror, mainly because I didn't have people introduce me to horror. It was never something that people around me introduced. And I would say I got little inklings of it, like with Annihilation is something, a book I love, which is still technically fantasy, but I would almost describe it as horror first before fantasy.
it's more
honestly,
sci-fi too.
Oh yeah, sci-fi. Sorry.
Yeah,
And
not
then
really fantasy.
like hey, Talking Story, John, Jacob, and Amy, their book Discovery
Okay.
is cosmic horror.
Yeah.
And so I've been on a really good horror kick, that and with films as well, where I've just been watching some great either funny horror films or thought-provoking horror films. The genre has so much more to offer than I lent itself to, because for some reason I always had the impression that your horror films were your Friday the 13th, your Freddie Mercury's, your Michael Myers, like hey, oh, did I say Freddie Mercury? God damn
You
it.
did.
I always, yeah.
He is a little. He's a little
Freddie
scary.
Mercury, a little scary.
Freddie Mercury.
Yeah, Freddie Mercury about yeah. And so I always had that idea of like, hey, I'm not the biggest fan of horror that's just there to scare. Like that's one thing, but when the horror represents something, when there's a theme to it, or there's some vibe to it, an atmosphere, I've been eating it up.
When it stretches it thin, and you're just like, "What's happening? Oh my gosh, why do I feel this way? I still don't see it."
Exactly.
You feel it, and
like I'll preach this, and so I'll preach this till I die. Now, Rich and I got lucky to interview the director of the movie Good Boy, and that's a movie that came out last year. It's an indie film that blew me away. It was such an awesome concept where it's the entire horror movie is filmed from the perspective of the dog. It's the horror movie from the dog's perspective.
It's like Cujo almost.
Yeah, I've never seen Cujo, but it's also the director's actual real life dog, and the dog's name is Indy, plays the protagonist of the story of this haunted house. And it is so much more than a gimmick. And it's just another additional thing that just shows me how horror has so much to offer. And yeah, I've been loving the genre. So that's been my weirdly, I guess, comfort read has been horror.
My wife and I tried watching The Witch. That's like an A24 film.
I haven't seen that yet, but is that
I don't know, there's something about it. We were just kind of like,
is that Eggers, right? Or
maybe.
Yeah, it might be.
I think so.
But yeah, I mean, it's gorgeously shot, but there's just that you don't know what to expect, and I didn't really want to stay around because but we love our horror video games. We're excited for Resident Evil 9.
Heck yeah.
Big fans of that. So, but horror movies, I lean more toward like thrillers that are, grounded in reality, and it's the horrors of, people that I, for some reason, love watching, like Prisoners by Denis Villeneuve. I don't know if you've seen it, but that's a horror film in my book. Really well done. Highly recommend it.
Awesome. That is that something you find yourself with books and films liking the same genre, or is it different a little bit?
I think it's different, but when I do go in search for a book, I'll be like, okay, what are some books like this movie or this video game? I know it's kind of a blanket, just like, hey, let's just try to find a surface level recommendation based off this, but it helps. It helps me discover at least the vibe. Anything that captures the vibe of something, I'm like, oh wow, I didn't know this classic book captured the vibe of this. I can't come up with an example right now, but I know it's happened many times, and that's been fun. Yeah. How do you guys? How do you decide this is the book I want to read right now? Like, I know there's a lot of stuff going on. You've got the YouTube channel, you've got you've got book clubs, but for you, yourself,
Thomas, I'm gonna say this in front of all of your chat, and if anybody wants to start, it's the highest bidder. And so if you guys, well, I have $1 going to 2 going 3. No. But Rich and I have talked about this a lot. This has also changed. This is what we're changing this year too. But Rich, you can go ahead. Yeah.
Oh, this is a recent thing for this year specifically. Last year was far more business, and not just business, but just social requirement of a lot of our books. I think we went for a good stretch of like 6 months of not reading anything we particularly picked ourselves or what we wanted to read in the moment. Like, it was like a long list of obligatory, like, hey, this book is finishing, the series is coming to an end, we need to be up to date by then. Okay, we got, and of course our book club books, and then we were part of the SPFBO, so that was another obligation we had to read. And then just a bunch of these different books like come at us, and we're like, oh, we really want to do a video because it's relevant. And to a point where when I read By Blood, by Salt by J.L. Odom, this was for the SPFBO awards, I was so excited to read book 2. Ecstatic. But it went, I think, close to 6 to 8 months before I was able to get to book 2. It was the first thing I picked up after we were done Christmas break and we had some time off. I was like, I don't care. I don't care that we're not going to do a video on it. I'm reading this book. It's for me. I get to choose my book today.
Yeah.
And but yeah, this year we're trying to read more books by like just what we ever feel like reading. And at this point, it's week to week of, hey, Austin, what are you in the mood for? And we're trying to read different things, even if it makes videos a little bit more difficult to coordinate. Because we were trying for a long time to, like, we read the same things, 1 book a week, so we could do a review every week. We're doing a little bit less of that, just so we can get back into enjoying more a little bit.
Yeah.
The best reviews are going to come from, when we're thoroughly like picking it out and have a lot to say. It feels a bit more authentic that way too. The passion will come through if we're wanting to read it more in the first place. And that's not to say there wasn't passion. We really loved doing the SPFBO in the sense that was a great opportunity to be judges. Of course, it's good, pat our ego a little bit to judge something. So that was good fun. But now it's like, hey, we get to curate our TBR a bit more. And our goal with that is, I guess this is what I guess I mean by the mood read as well. Of the one issue about planning a second book ahead of going, hey, this is what I'm reading now, and the book I'm going to read after that is this. That is what we've always been doing for at least past year plus. Well, when I finish that book, it might just spark a completely different thing of, I need to shift genres now, or I need to read the second book of this series, or I need to read another thing in the same genre as this, because it's just hitting that. I found that when, Rich is saying, for example, with By Blood, by Salt, finishing it and knowing he can't start the second book until we finish Obligation 1, 2, and 3, puts a damper and like, oh, I really want to be reading this thing. We have to be reading this. In the same way that it's even hard to go, let's say Rich starts By Blood, by Salt, and he plans the second book ahead and goes, I'm going to do the second book after I finish this. That's well and good if it happens to align with what he's feeling afterwards. It just, we found that it shifts a little bit, and it's hard to both coordinate because, hey, this is both work. It's work. This is definitely work for us, but it's also got to be like for longevity's purposes, we have to be having fun to some degree for to keep kicking, because
How do
I
you
think
organize it all in your head? Like
Yeah.
going from book to book to book. You're talking to one of the slowest readers in the world right here, but how do you mentally shift into the next story while also trying to retain or savor what you just read?
Well,
yeah.
quickly, I'll answer Leon. Maybe I'll be honest. Dang it, Ryan. Anthony Ryan. Anthony Ryan is. I like that author quite a bit, and so maybe I'll get to it, but it isn't on the top of my list at all. So maybe not. It's been a long time since I read book 2. But no, the biggest problem I had last year with our reading schedule was the amount of book 1s starting, and then knowing when I'm reading it that I'm not going to get to book 2 for a long time. It really dampens the fun of whether I like the book or not. I'm not going to read book 2 next. I just know it. And that's what I'm kind of enjoying right now, is we're trying to do with if I read a book and the sequel's out and I really like it, I'm going to read book 2. That's the next book I'm going to read, to just let's go through it instead of trying to pace it out. It does get difficult to try and get back into you read book 2 6 months later. It's hard.
It's
Definitely. Yeah.
something. When I was 2 years of my life, Wheel of Time, I wanted to read it all the way through because I felt like if I shifted to something else, it would take out that momentum that I know I needed throughout 14 flipping books. But toward the end, I gave myself permission to, okay, let me read a Stephen King book. Let me read a different genre to cleanse the palate. But also, when you read a different genre, I think it helps, to read a different genre in between a series. But for you guys, that's tough when you're reading a book one. But it is good to hear that you want to, continue on through what you want to read more often than not.
Yeah, with the shift. Sorry, Rich.
No, that's I'm agreeing.
with the shifting from book to book, of what's the mental shift we do, or how do we complete? Is that more the question of just how do we transport ourselves and start a next one?
Yeah, because that could get tiring, but also not knowing where your footing is when you're going from story to story to story.
Yeah, I would say at least 2 things for me personally, and one Rich will definitely agree with, where sorry, excuse me. The first thing is when we finish a book, and this happens when I finish a movie, a TV show, or whatever. If I'm not doing an episode on a TV show I just finished, I don't get to talk about it for an hour and a half or 2 hours with Rich, but I'll still bug Rich or talk about it's not complete until it's processed and talked out of all the thoughts of, all right, have engaged with it fully. I don't like reading or engaging with something and then just going on to the next thing without fully understanding it first. The exceptions to that are things like Take the Naked Gun or some comedy thing that's just there for, hey, it's funny. All right, move on. The things that are just entertainment certainly can just move on to the next one. But for Rich and I, it helps after we've fully discussed the work that we've just read. And as someone I'm writing my first book, I also, whether I really like something or really don't like something, I enjoy finding out what is the thing that's kicking and not kicking for me, because even things that I don't like, the bad examples, which can be good examples to other people, will help me know, okay, what's the best story I want to write or something like that. So there's so many incentives to one, figure out, have a full discussion with Rich of the thing that makes me move on to the next thing, and that helps. And there's that deep layer as well of, if I didn't like something, I could be wrong, or there's something I missed, and I want to know when talking about the book, or when actually, let's say it's a classic or something, take Pride and Prejudice, whatever. I want to, when discussing the book, feel like I fully understood the book without just outside myself, and that
Yeah,
helps
yeah.
by going, okay, what are the things people love about it and don't? And hey, I really like Pride and Prejudice, but if somebody doesn't, why? Or that's just something I'm curious about. But sorry, I ramble. But
No,
that's mainly the thing that makes me go on to the next thing. It has to feel complete and then go on.
You know, the fun answers to the question you have pulled up here. How do you remember all the events and characters in the book when you take long breaks between books in the same series? Do you
Mhm.
read some sort of recap?
Mm.
You know, the best part about that, we can watch our own video.
Yep. Yep.
That is what I
Yeah.
actually will do, and it's actually quite fun. It's one of the reasons we started the channel in the first place. Of the benefits is having a reading diary. Of it's quite enjoyable to go back and watch a video from 3 years ago to see, like, what did I think about that book at the time? How have my thoughts changed years later? Do I still think the same? But to be able to capture and, like, we do enough, especially now, we're trying to do more plot recaps in the spoiler section for readers and people
That's
listening to
really
the
helpful. I
video.
like that a lot.
Because I think when we first started, we weren't doing that. We're kind of assuming the average viewer is like, okay, I just finished a book. I'm going to type in the review of it and I'm going to watch it. And so we don't need a plot recap for the person who just finished the book. However, there's a lot of people that will see our video and yet they read the book 6 months ago, a year ago, whenever they have. And so,
Mhm.
like, they want to watch the video, but they don't remember all the plot details. And so that's why we started incorporating the plot summaries is for those type of viewers.
I am gonna have to do that for Empire of Silence, because it's
Yeah.
been a year, much like, Austin. Yeah, who knows
I-
when
I'll
we'll
be
have
honest, you almost don't need it.
Yeah, almost.
I
Yeah, almost don't need it.
I'll give
'Cause isn't
you
there a significant time jump?
I'll give you page 1 spoilers, and in all honesty, if you haven't read the series, I don't think this is a particular big spoiler. I don't think it's significant, at least. Between book 1 and book 2 is a very, very big time jump. And to the point of you're almost rediscovering Hadrian all over again.
I'm all for it. Then that actually may
That
help.
Thomas, that's why book 1 didn't. I thought Hadrian was a melodramatic brat, and
I
maybe
agree.
he still is, but things
Oh,
change quite a bit. Things will. No, I shouldn't say change. Just yeah, I'm so sorry. I want you to be able to go in as spoiler free as possible. So, yeah, that it's funny you mentioned that too, Rich, because after having finished Sun Eater, all 7 books, I'm going, hey, this is. I will say, right now, it's my favorite series of all time. I can't think of completed.
careful, Austin. You're overhyping it.
Completed
We're
series.
Yeah,
doing
you're
the
overhyping
I'm
it,
we're
Ryan.
doing
overhyping
Now
the
it.
you're
thing that
we were
we've
just
talked
talking
about.
about hype.
Shoot, you're right.
Yeah, now I'm not gonna pick it up for another
Yeah, don't
5
do it.
years.
Don't ever do it. No, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Uh,
I'll just reread
Well,
Wheel
you
of
already
Time.
started. What was your point?
hey, Ryan, Red Rising is not completed yet. I said completed series, so we'll see what happens with the last
I
book
have
of
a
Red
few
Rising.
friends who are obsessed with that series, and I don't
Oh yeah,
really care to dive in anytime soon.
it's amazing.
It's worth it. It's a
Okay.
really great series.
Here's the thing with book one that you guys were just talking about.
Mhm.
Ever since Wheel of Time, I've just wanted to divorce myself from series. It's so enjoyable to read just standalone books that stand on their own 2 feet, and I think it's very freeing for me as a reader, because when I have to juggle, series after series, there's some sort of responsibility or weight to it, or um, I don't know, maybe just I'm in a fenced in area where I can't leave yet. Uh,
Mhm.
at least that's how I approach series, where I want to be able to at least read a couple books in the series, or at least all the way through before I read something else, because I don't, like I mentioned with Wheel of Time, momentum. And but after book 1 of Sun Eater, Mistborn book 1, I'm just like, well, I'm not going to waste my time right now.
That it does suck because there's so many. There's quite a few of our favorite series where it has like a kind of lackluster book 1.
Yeah.
That's so many series are like that for us, and I don't know, that's just really unfortunate. What are your thoughts of like the idea of an author going back if they have a long series and rewriting book
I
1
would love it.
completely?
That's what I thought
And like
Rockwood
just like
did with the Diamond Edition.
he kind of did. He rewrote some scenes. I think there's some changes, but
I
not
do want that
anything
book though. It's gorgeous.
significant. Oh
I
yeah,
just
Hey, didn't Tolkien's the OG one who did this? He went back and changed the whole chapter of The Hobbit.
true. He
really.
did. In The Hobbit, the ring plays way less of a significance, and so it's just not
Oh
really.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
I'm
he
kind of happy
changes it.
he did add it
Oh,
in
yeah.
because it connects the two.
Yep.
Mhm.
Hey, Sanderson did something somewhat significant as well in Stormlight in book 1, where a scene was changed
Mhm.
as well. But I mean,
Really?
that's very spoilery to mention the scene
Okay.
that's
Wait.
changed.
No, not in book 1, book 2.
Yes, in book 2, correct.
Mhm.
Yep, book 2.
He's
Something was
not
changed.
gonna like Red Rising. It's literally the opposite of his taste.
That's fair. Yep. I don't know. I think it's sure it's
Oh.
it sounds like it'll be the opposite of your taste, but for an example of the opposite of your taste, it does it so well that
That's what I hear. It does it so well. It takes
yeah,
familiar things that we liked, and it just
to give you the one nugget, of the thing to look forward to. I have very rare, other than Larry McMurtry, I have very rarely come across an author that creates a whole cast of characters, like side characters that you don't get the POV from, that you absolutely fall in love with. These are characters like you deeply care about, regardless of the main character's perspective. It's some of the best stuff that Pierce Brown is really good at doing. Is his whole cast is incredibly rootable, lovable characters that you emotionally connected to.
yeah.
So, if that suits your tastes, that would be a good reason to read it.
And it's how many books is it?
6 currently out, and
Oh.
the 7th one is going to be possibly the last, depending if he splits it into 2 or not.
However,
however what?
the first 3 books is a trilogy. It gets
Oh, well, that's
trilogy.
wonderful. However,
Yes, and they're not that long. The books are not incredibly long. It's a very doable trilogy, and then there's another series afterward.
Okay.
Have you ever heard like the intro hook to the opening chapter of how just badass it is? I mean, it's
which one?
of Red Rising. It's just the
Oh, yeah?
will hook you immediately. It's just, oh my god.
Well, that's what I thought about Mistborn.
Alright.
That first
does
was like,
Mistborn-
yes, this is great, and then it just I wanted to live in the world more. I wanted not just Ash, but give me more. Give me daily life in that city. Give me daily life.
Okay,
I wanna live in there.
You're not gonna get that in Red Rising.
No, I'm not saying that, but I'm just talking about a first page of a book that just hooked me in immediately,
Okay.
and then it fell flat. I'm only talking about Mistborn. But
You might
Can I
feel-
read the first line of Red Rising to hook you?
Well, not just the first, Rich. It's the end of that paragraph about the line.
I get you. I'm wearing pajama bottoms. I get to see my lounge wear.
Oh no! Oh, we don't. Oh, okay.
Hold on. Let me read along.
All right. Let's see if it. There we go. All right.
All right, here we go.
Let's see, which copy are we opening up of one of the greatest series? Oh, come on.
Okay.
I'm gonna close my eyes. Here we go.
Which part do we do? Okay, here we go. I'm just gonna read the first 2 paragraphs
Okay.
of the novel.
Okay.
The first thing you should know about me is I am my father's son. And when they came for him, I did as he asked. I did not cry. Not when the society televised the arrest. Not when the Golds tried him. Not when the Greys hanged him. Mother hit me for that. My brother Kieran was supposed to be the stoic one. He was the elder. I was the younger. I was supposed to cry. Instead, Kieran bawled like a girl when little Io tucked a hemanthus into father's left work boot and ran back to her own father's side. My sister, Leanna, murmured a lament beside me. I just watched and thought it a shame that he died dancing, but without his dancing shoes. On Mars, there is not much gravity, so you have to pull the feet to break his neck. They let the loved ones do it. I think what the hook line there is that the last line. On Mars, there is not much gravity. You have to pull the feet to break the neck. They let the loved ones do it.
Yeah.
That
the
to me
first
is like
line, even before that
hook.
too. This is like the prologue first line. I would have lived in peace, but my enemies brought me war. Oh, come on. Let's go, Darrow.
It is like, this is the #1 book that, like, if you want to get your guy friend, like your real like man's man friend into reading, this is the book you tell them to pick
I
up.
should have.
This is the bros book.
I bought him Percy Jackson.
Yeah.
Oh, that's also the one.
That'll also do it.
But that's more like just to get him into that world of fantasy, because he likes Greek mythology and all that. I definitely want to give Red Rising a try, especially hearing it's a trilogy. But again, you know.
Well, also look, that's not that thick.
It's nice. How many pages is that one?
Book 1 is
375, 400,
380.
Okay, that'll take me what, 3 months maybe?
Sounds about right.
Just about right. Oh man, guys, this has been so much fun. I could, if I didn't have Dungeons and Dragons tonight, I'd be down to get a cup of coffee here and we go at it until midnight. Just do a 24-hour live stream.
Hey, we will see you when you come to help us move. I mean,
Yeah.
that'll be the coffee time.
Message me and we'll make it happen.
Thomas, thank you a bunch. And thanks for having us on your channel and all the chat for the questions that we duly ignored. I'm sorry we distracted you the whole time.
Everyone, I am deeply, deeply sorry about ignoring you. I just didn't want to ignore Richard and Austin. But again, thank you all for tuning in and hanging out with us. I appreciate both of you joining and just hanging out. This was awesome. I was very nervous and scared.
No.
So you're up there, and I'm. But thank you for joining, and until next time.
All right.
Cheers.
Bye, everyone.